All right, guys, so you know this 5-piece dresser set that I keep calling the biggest project yet? Well, I'm starting to really get concerned on even if it's gonna be profitable at this point or not, because the repairs just keep stacking and I'm starting to get concerned. But it is the biggest project that I've ever done yet, so we're gonna see. So today we're gonna be diving into probably the worst part of this flip when it comes to the repairs, and that's gonna be the drawer corners. Most of these drawer corners are busted and blown out. In all reality, depending on how bad these corners are, this is either gonna be a money maker or it could easily turn into a money pit, and I'm starting to get concerned. For my new viewers, this is the 5-piece dresser set that I've been calling my biggest flip yet, and it's an absolute beast of a flip. And for my core viewers, you know exactly what I mean when I say these corners are rough. Let's get to work and find out. It's actually split, it's cracked all the way through. It's almost 2 separate pieces, but I think somebody tried to do a DIY repair. Back in the day, they used some glue and just stuck it back together, and it just separated ever since. So it's gonna be a new one, new challenge for me. I'm gonna save this one for later. So I'm just inspecting, I'm on the nightstand drawers right now. I'm just inspecting them for any corners that are blown out like the other drawers were. I gotta say the nightstands are way better off, so that's a good sign. Yeah, this is good. But this corner can use some sanding. My goal is to sand out all the loose wood and debris so we can have a clean canvas to start on when we reconstruct these corners using wood filler or a Bondo. That looks good enough. Same on this corner. It's not much compared to the other drawers, but I want to get rid of that loose wood. And I'm just setting myself up so that the Bondo and the wood filler can adhere to the corner when we go to reconstruct them. This one looks pretty bad off. Not nearly as bad as the other drawers, but we're still gonna take some of that loose debris off with some sandpaper so we can find a solid surface to start reconstructing the corners from. That looks much better. Just that little bit that I took off is gonna help the wood filler and the Bondo adhere. Because when we reconstruct these corners, I want them to last forever. So you can see how deep this goes. This isn't your surface level scratch. This is actually probably, in my opinion, a full-fledged structural rebuild of this drawer, because this crack goes all the way down to the seam. And I really don't feel like pulling this apart, so I think I'm gonna be sneaky and just go ahead and I'm gonna sand it down so where you can't see any of the protruding areas. And then any seams that are left over, I'm gonna fill it with wood filler or Bondo to where it's very durable. And then once I put that paint on top, you'll never know it's even there. But I'm interested to see how it turns out. Let's get to work. I'm also using this. It helps contour to your hand when you're sanding into tight spots, but you can change out the different grits and it really does help, so. It's getting a little bit better, more seamless along this corner, but we got some work to do. and this feels pretty smooth. So we're gonna move on to this area right here. You can see how it's very much elevated from the actual face of the dresser. Like I said, these are two separate pieces that somebody glued together, but they're not even, they're not flush. So I need to get rid of that deviation. I think this is pretty good, guys. So it's pretty flush with the face of the drawer and the separate piece that somebody glued. It's pretty darn smooth on both corners, on both sides. And the back, I even flattened that out a little bit because it was also different from the rest of the drawer. But I think if we just add some wood filler in this gap and around the seam, once we add paint to it, you won't be able to tell a difference. So that's a win. We have two ways of going about this project. We have some wood filler that I'm gonna use on the scratches that are pretty much surface level repairs. And this is the bad boy that I've been excited to use. My first time using it, I've heard nothing but good things about it, but it's a 2-part epoxy, it's a liquid wood, and it should be perfect for this project. It should be very durable. Once we use it, hopefully nobody ever has to worry about the drawer corners falling apart, because this stuff, I've heard, is very strong. So I'm excited to use this for the very first time. So the way this wood filler works, it's very simple. That's why I like it so much. You just simply add a little bit of water to get it damp, and then it becomes more pliable to where you could work it into whatever corners or cracks or crevices you want to put it in. You want to apply it. But as you can see, it's almost like a paste. But when you add more water, liquid to it, it becomes way more pliable. So I'm just applying the wood filler and then supporting it with some masking tape to help reform those edges while it dries. I'm hoping that this will work. This is my first time doing something like this, so I've seen somebody else do it and I thought it was pretty neat trick, so I'm gonna test it out for myself. But you see we have some wood filler on each corner and we're just supporting those corners with some masking tape. And we're gonna leave it to dry. But we have another corner to do. This corner is good, but this corner is really rounded off. I really like how these corners are coming out. Now that the wood filler is dry, we could actually hit it with sandpaper and see what we can make out of it. We got some good material to work with, so let's break out the sandpaper. So I just got done sanding down the corner and I wanted to show you guys, but this is the corner that had the wood filler with the masking tape supporting it. And this was the corner I went to model after. and I sanded it down to where it originally looked like this with just a big wad of wood filler, but I sanded it down with some really fine sandpaper to try and mimic this corner. And I feel like once I put paint on this, you won't be able to tell the difference between the two, and that's the goal. So far so good. We still have 2 more on this drawer to knock out, and then we have a lot more to do on the other drawers, and that's where it starts to get tricky because those are way far gone. But progress, I like it.